32. Flying cars. Why the sky never became a commute. The prediction, what we thought. Few images captured 20th century futurism more vividly than this. Ordinary people commuting in flying cars. Traffic jams would dissolve into open air. Cities would expand vertically. Personal aircraft would lift straight out of garages, glide above congestion, and land neatly at work. The road, finally, would be optional. In this future, transportation wasn't just faster, it was liberated from geography. Standing in 1999, flying cars felt overdue. After all, we had airplanes, helicopters, and space shuttles. Why were we still stuck on asphalt? Why this prediction made sense in 1999. Flying cars didn't emerge from engineering logic alone. They came from cultural expectation. For decades, jet travel had shrunk the world. Spaceflight had reached the moon. Helicopters already existed. Technology narratives favored dramatic leaps. From that perspective, cars seemed embarrassingly stagnant. If machines could fly across oceans, surely personal flight was next. This belief fit perfectly with the millennium-era optimism that the future would look visually different. Progress wasn't just supposed to work better, it was supposed to look futuristic. For younger readers today, it's worth emphasizing how dominant this imagery was. Flying cars weren't fringe speculation. They were shorthand for the future itself. Their absence was rarely questioned, only delayed. Who said it, and where? One of the most visible real-world champions of commuter flying cars was Mahler International, which throughout the 1990s promoted prototypes like the M400 Skycar. The company promised vertical takeoff, simple controls, and mass adoption. Demonstrations, press coverage, and investor enthusiasm kept the dream alive well into the late 1990s. Mahler wasn't alone, but it symbolized the era's confidence that engineering alone could unlock personal flight. The idea felt tangible. Prototypes existed. Videos circulated. The future appeared close enough to touch. What actually happened? 2000 to 2025. Flying cars never arrived as commuter vehicles. Despite decades of effort, prototypes remained experimental. Costs stayed prohibitive. Safety concerns multiplied. Regulation proved overwhelming. The core problem wasn't making a machine that could fly, it was making one that could fly safely, quietly, cheaply, and idiot-proof in dense urban environments. Air traffic control for millions of personal vehicles turned out to be a nightmare. Noise pollution alone would have reshaped cities. Mechanical failure in the sky carried catastrophic risk. By the 2010s and 2020s, interest shifted toward drones, limited air taxis, and specialized use cases. Vertical flight found niches, but not daily commutes. By 2025, flying cars remained a curiosity, not a system. Verdict. Status. False. Commuter flying cars did not materialize. While experimental aircraft and air taxis exist, the vision of widespread personal flying vehicles for everyday transport was not realized. Why it played out this way? The central error was confusing technological possibility with societal viability. Flying isn't just engineering, it's regulation, safety, infrastructure, noise, and coordination. Roads tolerate mistakes. Airspace does not. There was also a hidden comparison problem. Cars work astonishingly well. They're cheap, reliable, flexible, and forgiving. To replace them, flying cars had to be dramatically better, not just cooler. They weren't. The future didn't reject flight, it rejected chaos. What this prediction teaches us about the future. This case highlights a recurring forecasting trap, overvaluing spectacle. Some futures feel inevitable because they look futuristic. But progress often favors invisibility, efficiency, optimization, software, not dramatic visual change. In 1999, flying cars symbolized freedom and advancement. In 2026, their absence reminds us that the best technologies often improve quietly rather than transform visibly. The future delivered better roads, smarter cars, and digital navigation, not skies full of commuters. One sentence takeaway. We learned that the future doesn't fly just because it can, it flies only when everything else agrees.